Alright, so it seems like Acheron's full character preview was actually tweeted here, which does give us pretty much just exact insight on what her kit is going to be in game. Acheron is going to be the first character in the first phase of 2.1 essentially, and a lot of people are very, very excited for her. I'm super excited. She seems like she's going to be really, really powerful. Took a peek at her kit beforehand just so that, you know, I make sure all the details are all set, right? And we're going to hop right into it. So they did post it here on their official Twitter. Never turn back, the path is gone. Trailblazers, we have the character preview for Acheron and Nihility Lightning. So of course, if you weren't aware, she is a Lightning Nihility character. And this is her overall overview, which by the way, dude, her splash art looks kind of sick too, in my opinion. I do like the splash art and the turning red and everything. So Acheron is a DPS character who accumulates charges by inflicting debuffs on enemies to unleash her ultimate. So yes, every time an enemy is inflicted with a debuff, she does charge her ultimate. It's not energy, right? Most characters, in fact, all characters in the game charge their ultimate up by building up energy. She does not have any energy at all. She charges up by inflicting those debuffs, and that'll eventually let her use her ultimate. With her ultimate, Acheron ignores enemies' weakness types, drains all enemies' toughness, and reduces their type res. Acheron's technique can also instantly eliminate some enemy targets during exploration, which, you know, we'll get into that. They do explain it specifically what exactly that does, but that's just an overall overview. So again, she's kind of built around getting her ultimate and just doing a lot of damage with her ultimate. So that is really the basis of this Acheron's kit. So we're going to go ahead and start off with just her basic attack. Does the first very basic thing, doesn't really do anything, just deals lightning damage. You're never really going to use this basic attack, like almost never. It literally does nothing. It just deals lightning like damage to a single enemy. So yeah, that's the thing. So her technique is the first thing I want to talk about here. So she immediately attacks the enemy. She gains quadrivalent ascendance at the start of every wave. And then what happens with quadrivalent ascendance is that she gets 1 point of slash stream after she uses her ultimate. And then applies 1 stack of crimson knot on a random enemy. So again, she gains that ascendance on every wave essentially. So this point of slash stream only uses after her ultimate, but she always will apply the stack of crimson knot to the random enemy. And that's at the start of every wave specifically. So she'll deal lightning damage to all enemies and reduces the toughness of all enemies irrespective of weakness type as well. So again, that's just doing damage and reducing their toughness. And then enemies who do get their weakness broken in this way will trigger the lightning weakness break effect, right? So that makes sense because she's a lightning character. But along with that, if it's just a normal enemy, this will instantly defeat them without ever needing to enter battle. Enemies who aren't hit won't consume technique points. So he said even if you miss, you won't use a technique point, which is cool. But this is just pretty big for Simulating Universe mostly, right? Or if you're, I guess you're on the map, right, in general. But being able to just instantly kill these normal enemies is very cool. I think it's to speed things along. And in Simulating Universe, it is winning the battle, right? So you would still get the actual... I saw someone ask, like, oh, do you still get the... I forgot the word for them. I forgot the word, but, like, you know, do you still get the different cards for the path that you chose? And it's like, yes, you do. I forgot the exact word, guys. I'm a fraud. What can I say? It is what it is there. But yeah, that's basically how her technique does work. She'll be gaining the Crimson Knot stack to random enemy at the start of every wave, essentially. And along with that, the one to slash stream. So again, if you go to a second wave, she will be able to restack this, essentially, right? Once she has the technique activated for the battle. So her talent skill here, which looks very cool as well. I love how this talent skill looks as well. When slash stream reaches its upper limit, the ultimate can be activated. So again, that is what we talked about earlier. With every debuff you inflict on the enemy, you do gain a stack of slash stream. So during the ultimate, reduces enemies' toughness regardless of the weakness type and reduces all enemies' type res, lasting until the end of the ultimate. Now, this does count as a debuff, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, that should count as a debuff, but since it's actually during the ultimate, I don't think that would obviously, like, you know, after the ultimate ends, you wouldn't get another stack, but you do still get the stack after using the ultimate here of the slash stream. So no matter what, at least the very first time you're already getting this. Again, I don't know if it would actually count by giving you an extra stack after. I assume not, but again, It's not something I'm gonna know unless, you know, I see her in game, right? But you can see here the stacks go up when she uses the technique, right? Which is really, really cool. So Acheron gains 1 point of slash stream and inflicts 1 stack of Crimson Knot. If debuffs are inflicted on multiple targets, then the 1 stack of Crimson Knot will be inflicted on the enemy target with the most Crimson Knot stacks. This effect can only trigger once per every ability usage. When Acheron is on the battlefield, when an enemy target leaves or any unit is defeated, their Crimson Knot stacks will be transferred to the enemy target with the most knots left on the battlefield. Now, I believe the Crimson Knots stacks really do matter with the ultimate specifically, and I believe it does let the ultimate do more damage. We'll cover it in a little bit of a second, but if you're wondering what the Crimson Knots actually do, that's what that should be. But again, you see right here, she is gaining the 1 stack here of the slash stream. So, this is her skill specifically, and again, this is just her talent. Her skill also gives her 1 point of slash stream right here. Inflicts the 1 stack of Crimson Knot to a single target enemy and deals lightning damage to them, as well as a certain amount of lightning damage to adjacent targets. So it does hit multiple characters. You see right here, it is hitting these multiple characters right there. And again, to confirm this, this is again what I was talking about earlier with the 1 point slash stream and 1 stack of Crimson Knot. That's when the unit inflicts a debuff on the enemy target, and her own skill is what also does provide her the energy gain right there. That I think I kind of confused the two, but her own skill does give her 1 stack of Crimson Dream and slash stream and 1 stack of Crimson Knot. Same when a ally does a debuff the enemy as well, so that's really cool. So that's why again, you do want a lot of debuffers on the team with her. You want to make sure you have different characters such as Pela, Silver Wolf, you know, a lot of those characters that will allow her to get her stacks up, because that's really the important thing. Now, here is the ultimate, which is, again, I think where the big boy damage is going to come. She's going to hit super hard with this ultimate. So, she delivers 3 rain blades, as you see right here. She's hitting them with the 3 different red blades, and then 1 Stygian research in succession, which is the final one. Enemies cannot be inflicted with Crimson Knot while the ultimate is activated. So, deals lightning damage to a single target enemy, and removes up to 3 stacks of Crimson Knot from the targets. So whoever she's hitting, she removes the Crimson Knots, up to 3 of them. When Crimson Knot is removed, she deals lightning damage to all enemies, with the additional damage multiplier for this increased for every stack of Crimson Knot removed. The damage multiplier has a maximum limit. So again, there is a maximum limit for that, but essentially if you have like multiple enemies, and let's say you have 3 different enemies and they all have 3 different stacks of Crimson Knot, then she'd be able to move 3, 3, and 3, right? And there is a damage cap for how many Crimson Knots are actually taken off. Then still with the Stygian research, which is the last slash here at the end, she does deal lightning damage to all enemies and it removes all Crimson Knots. So any Crimson Knot that are left over is now gone after using that ultimate. But again, that's why I was saying the Crimson Knots are important for the ultimates. They do upgrade the damage that the Rain Blade specifically does do. And we do see that you are able to choose again which target enemy you attacked, because again, it is only a single target enemy, and removing up to 3 stacks of Crimson Knot from the targets. So again, that depends. Like if they only have 2 stacks and it removes 2 stacks, if they have 5 stacks, it only removes 3 stacks, right? That's how it will work. Then here are her traces, which again go hand in hand with her different abilities. So this one goes hand in hand with the talent right here. So when the battle starts, immediately gains a certain number of slash dream and applies a certain number of Crimson Knot stacks to a random enemy. So again, it says a certain number. I'm not sure if it's like what's the cap for it or how RNG it is. But again, when slash stream reaches the upper limit, for every point of slash stream that exceeds limit, you gain 1 stack of quadrivalent ascendants up to a maximum number of quadrivalent ascendant stacks, which again, we do see right here, I believe. Yeah, right here, quadrivalent ascendant right there. Essentially, that is up to giving her 1 point of slash stream after she uses her ultimate and applies 1 stack of Crimson Knot to a random enemy. So again, if she goes beyond the upper limit for the slash stream that exceeds that will give her that ability instead, which again, sounds pretty cool. That's pretty interesting for sure. So when there are one or two Nihility characters other than Acheron in the team, the damage dealt by her basic attack, skill, and ultimate additional increases by a certain amount. So that's why you talked about Paylance Wolf earlier. You want a lot of Nihility characters on the team. You do want 2 Nihility characters on the team. If she's no dupes, you do want 2 Nihility characters on the team. I believe her E2 does remove one of those restrictions, but again, only wanting one, well, not only, you do want to, you could still run, like, I think Black Swan, you could run, I've seen people talking about, oh, they're going to run her on a team with Kafka and Black Swan, you know, maybe that could work, but, again, I like Pela, Silver Wolf, you know, those kind of characters will be ideally your best option there. I could see people come up with really interesting, like, setups, especially at E0, but, again, this is really important because she does get like extra damage here from her basic attack, skill, and ultimate. It's like all 3 of these, and I'm sure it's going to be pretty important. So again, that is related to her talent as well. Then this is related to her ultimate. When Rain Blade from Acheron's ultimate hits the enemy targets with Crimson Knots, her damage does increase and then stacks up to a certain number of times, lasting for a certain number of different turns. Then when Stagnant Resurgence triggers, additionally deals damage a certain number of times. So again, that is, where is the ultimate right here? I can't find the ultimate, so many different pages. Again, Stagnant Resurge is the final part here, and then the Rain Blades are this section right here. So essentially just increasing her damage and stacking up a certain number of times, and that lasts for a certain number of turns, which is interesting there. And then it is deals damage a certain number of times, right? We don't know the exact numbers, right? And I think we'll know the exact numbers when she's like, when it's a lot closer to her release or when she's in the game, right? And each time deals lightning damage equal and is viewed as part of the ultimate damage. So all of this does count as the ultimate damage. And of course that matters because this right here increases the ultimate damage. So this is directly with her ultimate, right? And again, it makes sense that it is part of the ultimate damage because it's specifically during the ultimates, but it is, you know, good for that clarification that, you know, maybe it wouldn't come with the ultimate damage, but it does. Officially it would, so that's really nice. These are the materials that she needs. So there you go. We are able to farm this right now. You want to make sure you farm these. This is new. This is like relatively newish kind of, but shouldn't really be too bad to farm these. Luckily this is old, so, you know, I mean, you're still able to get this regardless if you farm it. But there we go. That is Acheron, and that's how she works overall. Again, she sounds like she's very powerful. Again, general consensus, you want to get these debuffers with her, and then just get this ultimate off, make the ultimate do big mega damage, right? And she will be cooking there. So let me know what you guys think about Acheron's design, everything like that, how she looks like, how powerful you think she's going to be. She seems like she's going to be extremely strong, and I will catch you all next time.